You're watching Scranton Today. This is Citizens of Scranton Interviews. It's very good to be back. We've been away for a while, but we're going to try to start our series off again with something very interesting. I'm sure you've all heard of The Sopranos and Law and Order and Third Watch, things like those shows like that where people who really enjoy television have an opportunity to watch these special shows. Well, today I have a very special guest with me. This particular individual has appeared on these shows. He's a good friend of mine, a guy I graduated with, Mr. Jack Brennan. Jack,
how you doing, George?
Welcome, thank you very much.
God bless you, my man. I haven't seen you in ages. And he has an A, I have, but he looks the same as an A.
Thank you very much for coming.
Okay, sir.
You've got a very interesting occupation. You want to share something with us, our viewers?
Yes, sir. Well, like most people in Scranton, I graduated high school with George, and there wasn't a lot of opportunities around for employment. Hoping it's not like that today, but so being a poor, I was one of 8 children. All my brothers, every one of us took a turn. We were all like a year and a half apart. We graduated, we all walked over to recruiter. I had a brother in the Air Force, one in the Army. I went in the Marines, and my other 2 brothers after me went in the Marine Corps. Came out, did our thing around Scranton, did my share of drinking, and typical Scranton thing. And finally, I had a struggle like most people. I finally managed to raise I had 3 sons, and they also went in the military. I think you have an article here, yes, George, on that. And it's just worked, got a pension, and I thought, well, okay, I'm 50, at that time I was 57 years old, George. Yeah. What am I going to do with my life? So I was I forgot, I jumped on a gun, but I was into martial arts. I went to Scranton Karate and achieved my black belt, but it took me 8 years.
Yeah, well, black belt in karate.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Yes, sir, I do.
Good.
Yeah, that's all right. You can kick my rear end anytime. There's no boom, bang, boom. But anyway, I was issued the Black Belt magazine when I graduated. It was coming to the school. And it's a typical magazine like the VFW or something. And in there was a karate company from out of Jersey that started a stunts camp. And the stunt school was that they were martial arts people who worked on Jackie Chan movies, Chuck Norris movies and all that, and they decided to do a stunt school because it's very physical. So I called them up, I think it was $800 and some, but you live there for 5 days. You live at the camp, and it was shot at Storm King Mountain in right near West Point. It's a stone's throw from West Point.
Yeah.
Beautiful place.
Yeah, I've been there, it's nice.
Oh, yeah? You're the man.
West Point, man.
Yes, sir. It's a great place. So I went to that. I sent them my check, certified check, and they gave me the date the camp was. You drove up, go right up 84. I think it's the second exit over the New York border, and you go towards West Point, and you hit the private school that the kids are out in the summer, and it was beautiful, dorms and everything. And here they had these big airbags and all this stuff, guns. I thought I was back in Vietnam. And so the guy was amazed because I was a little bit better shape than I am now, of course. It was back about 5 years ago. And he said to me, I went through everything. Most of my peers that I was going through at the time, they're all 25-year-old men and women wanting to break into the stunt work or movies, per se, movies. So I completed the course, and I have a certificate, which I didn't bring with me, that I'm in the Stunt School Association Union.
I've seen it.
Right. So they were amazed that somebody pushing 60, I think it was 56 the first year I went to it, was able to do all that. And I think it was my martial arts training. I was you climb ropes, it's a little bit of a boot camp, a lot milder. The airbag scared me. They take you up on 3 stories, and they just blow this airbag up, and it's still height. The height, I'm not big on heights, and I'm looking down, and I want to turn around and go back. And I was checking up, and everybody was saying, come on, you could do that. So I looked at it, all right. And then the instructor, he's right with you. He said, just close your eyes and step out like you're stepping out into a cloud. And you step out and you come down something like this. And when you hit that airbag, it's like hitting 1,000 pillows. It just blows, the air blows out the side, and it deflates. And you're not, I was amazed. Well, after I did it, I said, wow, that was nothing. I went back up and did it again.
How many days, Jack? How long did it take for you to go through that school?
That was a 5-day. Monday,
5 days?
yeah, Monday to Friday.
Okay.
And it's done in the summer, and you can work around it on your vacation. Just give them a little time, and they'll give you all. It's done once a year.
Now, after that's done, after you do that, you've completed the stunt school now. What's your next step? What do you do then?
Okay, what happened was, we'll get into this later with the soaps and stuff. What happened was, George, they actually said, Jack, there's not a lot of work right now for somebody pushing 60. You see people our age that are on soaps and stuff, but they're long-established actors and actresses that have been in the business so long. So he said, I'm going to hook you up with a background at talent agents. We try to book all our people, and I'm going to hook you up with background. So he gave me the name of this background agency, which I've turned over to George, by the way. By the way, I'm going to make Channel 61 and George very, very popular, more popular than he is now in the station, and I'll tell you why. Let me tell you why. Since I had a write-up in the paper, there's a guy from Dunmore does it. He's a retired school teacher, and he said I can use his name. He couldn't make it. Leonard Gallo. I met him on a set. That was ironic. We were out doing Third Watch, and I was playing an undercover cop. Undercover cop, just detective. They give you the badge, the gold shield, a fake gun hangs on your belt, bandana, and you dress just like you dress around Scranton. But that was the thing. And then you would go out with the main characters and do a drug bust and stuff like that, a simulated drug bust, and then they would cuff the people and take them in a squad bay. And you don't get dialogue, but you're right there, what they call the principal actor or actresses. And it was really, really interesting. For example, I did just last week, Law and Order. It was about 50 of them I did. We're in Holding. The Holding's the area, they're shooting in a studio next to you. Do you mind if I keep talking?
That's why you're here.
It's your show, George.
That's why you're here.
Yeah,
That's what
just give me a crack at the head if I'm talking.
Citizens of Scranton Interviews. That's what this is about.
Okay, God bless you. Okay, well, when they took us in Holdings, where all the background stays, they don't mingle with the main star. So who's walking down the hallway with Bill Murray? He's in this next segment. Will be out in about a month. Pops his head in the room and says, "Hey, gang, how you doing? I'm Bill Murray. Goodbye." Boom. Slams the door and he goes. And like, wow, you know. But the thing is, you get to see every big shot in the business. You just can't go up to them and say, "Can I have your autograph?" like some school kid or something.
Right.
The reason for it, especially with Sam Watson, he plays the main prosecutor, Sam Watterson, I should say, plays the main prosecutor on one of the Law and Orders, is that they're studying their lines. And believe me, they get a lot of dialogue. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do extensive dialogue. People at Marywood could do it, University of Scranton, because they're great. I think I had too many beers. My brain cells don't work that way anymore. So I can handle short dialogue. Anyway, it's all, you walk up and you say, "Oh, Bill Murray," or he's studying his lines over there. They're going over, and "Can I have your autograph?" Now you break his whole thin train of thought. And this is why people think, "Oh, those actors are stuck up." They're not stuck up. Majority of them aren't. They just remember one scene to the next, what's my next line, and some clown that's got one day job on the set runs up and says, "Can I have your just blew his whole thread of thought."
Yeah.
He's out of character now, and he's got to stay in character to be realistic so you can believe him.
Now, you just said you just did a stint on Law and Order.
Yes, sir.
How about The Sopranos? What did you do there?
Oh, The Sopranos was a good one. The one with Sopranos I was on, there was an Italian wedding, of course. And so they had, in Little Italy, they actually rented, the money involved in this is unbelievable. When it's professional, it's really expensive. They rented a whole carnival to set up for this 2-day shooting in Little Italy. And then the guy that's on there, he has that dark Italian-looking guy. He did the scene that day, but I can't remember all the characters, but it's one side of here he's got a gray streak.
The wings, they call it.
Yeah, the wings.
Yeah.
Paulie. Yeah, that's it. And so me and this guy from Dunmore, Leonard Gallo, we're walking around, and at one point we're walking, and the main Paulie, the big guy with the short crew cut, and you can't walk in front of him, and the PA will have you to the side like this, and they'll tap you. "Okay, now you walk." And you walk around the newspapers. I was supposed to walk behind them. I turn around, I walk in front of them. And he turned around and I'm coming back and he says to me, come here. And I come over, I see this guy, I say, well, I'm probably gonna I'm not gonna work in his business anymore. He says, you'll get your turn. He says, I'm the star, walk behind me, okay? But I mean, it's great. You get to see the people in business. And George, right after the show, I'm gonna tell you how you can get in it, because you're a good man. And I wanna say this about Scranton. I run in a lot of people from the area. And there's a lot of talent in the Scranton area, a lot. They come from the university, Marywood University, Scranton, and they just need a break. And I'm glad they shouldn't knock the trying to help Paul Sorvino make a movie here. He's not going to run off with the money. He will do the movie, and that's what this area needs. This could be our next big thing. One major film shot in the Scranton area a year would bring in a lot of publicity, a lot of good publicity for the area. Who knows, down the line, our biggest industry might be tourism.
It's true.
You know?
You did that championship season too, didn't you? Didn't you have a part in
Everybody
that?
at Scranton did that. George, I think I saw you there.
No, I didn't make it that time.
Oh, well, God bless you, man. You were too busy. You were probably working with the mayor. But the championship season with Jason Miller, and I had the bug then. Actually, I did about the year before that with the original Eddie and the Cruisers, and I made a record. We don't have time allotment to get in that. With the old 45. I was called from, sent them all out, and some agency in Jersey called me and said, I received your 45 record, and I would like to, would sign up with us. We do background work. Even back then, it's 1980. Would you like to be on Eddie and the Cruisers? So I go down there. This is how things work in this bit. And Tom, we're both thin and young and dark hair, right? I ended up for 2 days in Jersey doing the stand-in for Tom Berenger, because we had that similar height and a similar look.
Really?
Yeah, I forgot to tell you all that. And that was on Eddie and the Cruisers, the first Eddie and the Cruisers, Tom Berenger. And you still could rent that movie and see me in a bar scene with my arm around a blonde. And it all looks romantic, but then when you leave, everybody goes their own way and all that, you know. So it's a whole thing. It's a lot of fun, and I recommend it.
Let me ask you this. Now,
Yes.
you've been involved in this for quite some time.
Yes.
When opportunities come up, and you're a member of the Screen Actors Guild, you showed me your membership card here,
Right.
and that's very special. Not everybody can get into that.
Yes.
But do they typecast you, Jack, for certain roles, or?
There is a danger of that, George. There is a danger of typecasting when you're background. But like you said, now I'm pushing, next year I'll be 60. When you're 60, there isn't a lot of opening. I mean, the soaps, I sent my picture, send it back, we'll call you, don't call us. The soaps, it is true, the soaps are for young actors. But believe me, you could be, somebody started out in the business, send a soap on, I have their address, I'm giving it to George at Channel 61. Contact them. They will probably call you. All you do is a headshot and do some local theater. I recommend that. Get into your local theater and take a part. I did the Providence Playhouse twice with Bezignani. You want to call for a plumber? Well, I'm not a plumber anyway. I'm going to fix it up, man.
So,
Oh, really? You got anything around here you want fixed?
I'd like a little hand with him.
Damn, what's happened here?
Accident.
Oh.
Over there, please. Okay. Here you go.
Oh, what else you got around here fixed?
I got a helmet full.
Oh, that's good.
I have a problem with my fiance.
Oh, no, that's more like it. Yeah, I could probably fix that for you.
And also, this is like a real pain. Can you tie this, or you have a cord or a string or something?
No problem over here, sir.
Oh, perfect. Hey, what's that over there?
What? What is it? And that's how you learn. That's how you get your background. You don't need a big part. You could be the janitor. You get 2 or 3 lines. And then the agency, you put that on your resume, which goes on the back of your headshot. You know, you want to say a headshot?
I have a headshot here. I don't know how old this.
It's old.
It's old.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, that's pretty good. That's a good. You look kind of like Howie Long there. If you.
Oh, yeah. I wish I had his money.
And all the information, of course, is on the back.
Right.
And
Right.
this is what you were talking about.
Yeah, you're right, George. Which one? I got my 2 sons on that.
Yep, throw them up there.
And gave him a background, my 2 sons, and the one was called and did a Law and Order. So all this information By the way, Channel 16 is going to be big. Channel 61 is, I'm sorry, is going to be bigger than Channel 16. Sorry, guys, on 16. Okay.
Okay, you mentioned before that you went to a stunt school. Would you demonstrate something for us here?
Oh, God bless you. Yeah, this is a simple stunt. Simple stunt is a chair. You line up in a chair. You might be walking, or you could jump, and you go. Philip! Oh man, they poisoned me. I told you, they got me, man. They got me.
Philip! Oh, shit, they got you. But tell me something. What did Duncan buy?
Into the camera, run, back, and from there, you would learn this work, and then you work into the film. Sometimes they do ask you to do some work, but it pays also good. Thanks, George.
You're welcome. You didn't hurt yourself, did you? You look pretty good for a 58-year-old guy.
Damn right. Don't feel that good.
You look pretty good.
George, it's been an honor to be here with Channel 61.
They're-
An honor to be here with George.
This is a very good organization. They do a lot of good things, and being in a situation like this gives us an opportunity to let people know that there are people like yourselves in this area. I never knew at all. I mean, it's been a while since we've seen each other.
Yes.
And when we did speak, and you told me you were doing this, now, you know, naturally people, yeah, sure, he's on
Yeah.
Sopranos,
Yeah,
he's
he's
this,
bull.
he's that. But not so much bull, but when you told me exactly what you were doing, I found it extremely interesting. I've seen some of the things here that you showed me, how you advertised yourself, how the talent portfolio.
Oh, you got to promote yourself.
There's a
Get
great
the
deal
little
of
postcard?
information in here.
The little postcard, did I get it back? Okay. But anyway, George,
Let me
it's a
ask
great
you
show. Go
this,
ahead, sir.
if I could do this.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
How much longer do you intend to do this? And what's your goals, Jack? Where are you going to go?
My
from
goal
here?
is to get a national commercial, right?
Do you have an agent, Jack, or do you need an agent for
There's
that?
several agencies. I'm leaving with George and Channel 61. Contact them. And they do send people with little or no experience. You got to start somewhere. Beautiful. You know, I love horses. I wish I could own one, but, you know, I never had the money.
I like horses around a track.
Track. Hey, are you Dick Jones?
Got that right?
Philip.
You're Philip? You're the guy that called me, told me to come out to God's country?
Oh.
Because of information.
But-
Well, go ahead. Spill it.
Look it. I heard about Mr. Whitsfield. You know, him and I used to converse all the time down the bakery.
Is that... Sorry for your loss, Philip. I'm a detective. I solve mysteries. I don't have to listen to sob stories.
Wait a minute. It's not a sob story. It's about murder. I mean, I'm not involved, not in this particular murder, but somehow I feel responsible for the murder.
Well, go ahead. I'm all ears.
That's it. Everybody's all ears. I'm being watched. I'll tell you, I was followed the other day. I'm being watched. They're afraid that my conscience is bothering me, and I'm going to give them up. They're out to kill me.
Philip, relax. With me, you're safe. Now tell me, what happened?
I can't hear. I'm telling you, they're watching me. Look at, maybe tonight behind Slow Jack Steiner.
Tonight?
Yes, I'll bring all the information and I'll tell you everything you want to know.
No, Philip, you
No,
gotta...
tonight. Look at, I can't. I gotta go. I gotta go, man. I gotta go.
Why do all the leads I get gotta be Looney Tunes?
Here you go, detective. This one's on the house.
Great. All right, thank you. Sit down. Get over here. Look, you were late to begin with. Here's the food that you wanted. Now, out with it.
Oh, great, man. Good. I'm starving, man.
Fine, eat, but talk.
Okay. I'm in the food management business, particularly the food additive business. I had a side business going with Mr. Duncan, you know, down at the bakery. During World War II, the Germans developed this food additive. Of course, it's been illegal here. We all got to make a living. And what this formula did is when you added it to food, it enhanced the taste of the food 10 times, made it taste 10 times better, creating a craving for this food. It made it taste 10 times better than it ever did before.
What are you, a commercial?
I guess you could say that. But you know, it's not how much of this food you eat. It's the,
Philip!
Oh man, they poisoned me. I told you, they got me, man. They got me.
Philip! Oh, shit, they got you. But tell me something. What did Duncan buy? What did he get? The hell with it.
You got to start somewhere. Start off the background. You're working behind the cameraman. I see a lot of what they do, and it's hard work and skillful work, and the sound man and the lighting. And you're in the courtroom scene, and they say cut, and they drag the walls away. It's really, really interesting. Everything's set up. You know, it's like a facade. It's not real.
Okay, Jack, I sincerely appreciate what you've done. You've come here. I wish, as a matter of fact, you know what, I'd probably like to have you back so we can get into more detail about what you've done and what you're doing.
Anytime.
But right now, we've got a little segment of something that you were in. You want to explain that to him before we go? Before we go though, I want to say thank you to the camera crew and Channel 61 for everything they've done. Thank you so much for allowing us to tape this show. Jack, thank you for coming.
Thank you very much, George. Thanks,
you.
Channel 61.
And if you're ready to roll that, guys, you want to explain a little bit before we go in?
Yeah.
And then
This is the show that's going before, this film I did that I was featured. It's going to go to the Cannes Film Festival. And it started off as a student project. Any beginner can get into these. You'll get the backstage. It's all in there. It's all East Coast stuff in the backstage. And you don't get paid out of film studio. But it came out so good, and we rolled 5 minutes, 3 minutes of it, that they're going to the Cannes Film Festival. So who knows? This is how you might end up with a principal role. Principal role is all the big stars people go and see.
okay, thank you
Thanks.
so much.
God bless you all.
Thank
God bless
you.
everybody in Scranton.
They should call it the Make It Last paycheck.
Let's start with a big question. Where'd you go?
Did you find a job yet?
Did you find what you were looking for?
Yeah, me neither. It's just so hard nowadays. Hey, don't take it so tough. We lost our jobs. All right, Madeline? She lost her dream.
You're not alone?
You got a quarter? No, I'm sorry. No, we don't. Lost. Half those guys are fake anyways.
Let's start with a big question. Where'd you go? Did you find what you were looking for? Let's start with a big question. Where'd you go?
This is Jake the Super. If you don't get me the back rent next week, I'm going to throw you out on your ass. Hey, baby. It's Mommy. Sorry to hear about your job. I was talking to your Uncle John yesterday. He said if you were interested, he's still looking for help at the mattress store. I thought you might want to consider it. Oh, sweetie, you know I believe in you. It's just you picked a tough business.
You are 16, going on 17, baby, it's time to think. Better beware, be canny and careful, baby, you're on the brink. You are 16, going on 17, fellows will fall in line. Eager young lads and roues and cads will offer you food and wine. Totally unprepared are you to face a world of men. Timid and shy and scared are you, things beyond your
So happy with
You need someone older and wiser.
You're just not right for this part.
If only you were a little bit taller.
Take care of you.
Got a quarter? Don't be sad. You could be in my position.
Willingly I believe I am 16, going on 17, innocent as a rose. Bachelor dandies, drinkers of brandies, what do I know of those? Totally unprepared am I to face a world of men. Timid and shy and scared am I of things beyond my ken. I need someone older and wiser telling me what to do. You are 17 going on 18. I'll depend on you.
Excuse me, miss. You got a quarter? Just don't spend it all on drugs. Not a chance. You'll see.
Well, I left my wife and kids back home in Scranton to go to work in Alaska on the pipeline. Made a few bucks there, but drank more than my share and ended up in jail last night just because of some stupid fight. And the girls that I met here only wanted my money, and the cost was way too high for making love. So I jumped in my pickup truck, 'cause I was running out of luck, and begin that long ride home to Pennsylvania. At least this time I think I'm gonna stay with my 3 kids and my wife in Scranton, PA. But if she starts to nag me again, she's gonna catch it right on the chin. And I guess that'll be the end for me someday. Yes, I guess that'll be the end for me someday. So long, my friends, I'll say goodbye. I lost the election because of a butterfly. Georgie thinks he's really cool, but they've broken all the rules, trying to make me out the fool.
We had joy, we had fun, we got shafted in the sun, and it really was no good because the Klan was in the hood.
Hello, my friends, I'm finally here. Come on, Bubba, pass out the beer. It's too bad about Gore. He might have won if he wasn't such a bore. I don't want to see him anymore.
We had joy, we had fun down in Florida in the sun, and he lost a lot of votes because he took away our guns.
Goodbye, my friend, I'll have to say. I'll live to run again another day. I could have really had it made if they only counted the votes in day and said I should have gone.
We had joy, we had fun, we got shafted in the sun, and I don't want to concede because I really think I won.
Hello, my friend. You know I really love you so. I'll be skiing in the Pocono. You know I'm really not a bore. But I'll be back in 2004. Won't the Raven evermore? We had joy, we had fun, we got shafted in the